Hello family and friends and whoever else is tuning into this video. My name is Vita and this is a Hippie Crow Hub, a hub for unconventional homemakers and parents. Today's video is going to be about books. So I'll tell you a little story. Now I've been a stay-at-home mom for 7 years now, and within this time I did most of the things by myself with my husband. My husband is at work Monday to Friday, so during the day, and it's always me taking care of the two kids. Now at the beginning, before the kindergarten started, that was my 100% commitment, and I did not want my kids to go to daycare. So I took this on myself, and I wouldn't have done it any other way. But then by the time my daughter got old enough to go to kindergarten, her kindergarten experience got shut down by the events of COVID. Not gonna discuss the politics about it, but we all suffered in one way or the other. We all struggled, and we were in lockdowns, the schools weren't available, so that put a lot more pressure on me and the rest of the world and everyone else, and it became I became more isolated, we became more isolated, and there was a lot more pressure. I had to become even more things that I already was: a friend, entertainer, teacher, cook, chef, best friend, the discipline lady, the control lady, everything. So as you can understand, my personal experience of staying home with the kids without even a break or without even them going to school has prolonged, and I felt stuck in my own head. I felt like I got trapped, and it was tough. It was really tough. And then when my both children started going to school, my daughter to grade 2 and my son to kindergarten, I suddenly had this 5 hours in a day where I could breathe and figure out my path, my next path on what else I can do apart from 100% minding my children. So here it is. But to get to that part, I needed to do some healing. I needed to serve myself well. I needed to give back to myself. I needed to feed my soul. I needed to remember who I am. I needed to rediscover my strengths and interests and powers and superpowers in other aspects than just raising my children. And regardless of me finding myself in this time now, everything still has the priority of family and family's well-being. So now that I'm at home and I'm still a homemaker, I am finding activities and directions of where I'm gonna go. But like I said, to get there, I needed to figure out myself. I needed to recover. I need to dig deep inside myself and learn why I feel this way, how I can help myself, what it is that I need, what it is that I want, and what it is that I need to do to help myself. So in this video, I'm gonna share 8 books that has been just wonderful and amazing for my recovery, for my mental health, mental fitness, for my well-being, for my motivation, inspiration, and just waking up and looking at life and feeling the drive to do more, because I felt burned out and I felt run down. I felt like I am stuck in doing the same chores that, it felt like it was never gonna end. But now there's a little space and a motivation. So I'm gonna share the 8 books that were the most wonderful books that has helped me to it is. So I'm gonna share you the 8 amazing books Okay, I'm gonna start with the list now. Book number 1, The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. What a lovely book. I'm not gonna give out details because I don't want to be a spoiler, but the book is so gentle and kind. Book number 2. Healing the Shame That Binds You by John Bradshaw. All right, this one you gotta be ready mentally for. If you want to look deep into yourself, into your trauma, into your past, it might not be cute because it does take effort to analyze yourself. But I think it's so worth it, because to heal your trauma and to heal the shame that we carry, that sometimes it's not even our own shame, it's a shame that we inherited, that we picked on because of our environment or everyone else, or the situation, the life situation, or the certain cultural shaming, or whatever it is. And to heal that shame and the trauma, you need to really look into it. You need to look at it right in the eyes, acknowledge it, accept it, and then the healing can come. Very good book. This was a lot heavier book, but it was well needed, and I highly recommend. Book number 3. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I love it, by Mark Manson. Okay, this is just so brilliant. It's exactly my flavor. It is a reality check served with a scent of humor, or with a flavor of humor. And these two things are just, you know, I was listening to the book, I laughed, I cried, and I laughed, and I laughed more, and everything I could relate so well. I was like, that is so true. It is so true. We can't take everything that seriously sometimes. Sometimes we really have to laugh at the difficulties and just get on with it. And very highly recommend The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. One of my favorites. Book number 4. Okay. Atlas of the Heart by Brené Brown. I don't know the name, how to spell the name. Brené Brown. Atlas of the Heart. Another great book. When I started listening to it, the author was talking about herself and her thought process and how she is. And for a moment, I thought she was talking about me. So I could relate to the book very well. Of course, not 100% everything, like with all the books, not every single word in the book will be something that you will take and run with. You know, in the whole book, maybe you will enjoy experience of reading it or listening to it, and then you will only get maybe 2 or 5 or 3 points that will stay with you long term. But even if that's the case, the book has served you well, because if you can take 1 lesson or 2 lessons or 3 lessons out of one book, you already gain so much, even if it's just one thing. Even if you really enjoy the book and the experience of reading it, and you felt like you could relate to it in a moment, it has already served certain amount of healing deep inside you, unconsciously, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying all these things because this book is less than any other book. This book is amazing, and I do remember a lot of things from it, and a lot of points that I kept deeply and dearly for myself. It was just a thought that I felt like I needed to share. Okay, so another really good book I recommend. So book number 5, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Creative living beyond fear. Anyone can relate? Anybody needs a little more magic in their life? Anybody feels like sometimes everything is the same? Maybe boring, maybe slightly demotivating. And you remember those moments where something felt so new, so inspiring, so amazing and motivating, and you had that drive to do these things. You know, when the first time you got your job, or you became independent, started living by yourself, or moved to a new country, or did whatever it is that in your experience felt like that magic, like it's you doing something amazing and you can't get enough of it. And then after a period of time, that magic dies out because we get used to it, and it goes on and on. In life, this is just life, right? So this book talks about creating the little magic and the big magic in everyday life, how we look at things, how we perceive things. And again, I'm not going to give out the details, but if you want even a little drop of more magic in your life, this book, it's worth reading or listening to. Okay, let's move on. Book number 6. The Myth of Normal by Gabor Mate. Another more serious book. It's a little bit more on the level of the shame that binds you. This book it's brilliant, it's deep, but you have to be ready to take it in. It's about trauma, illness, and healing in a toxic culture. Okay, so this book refers to our past, our trauma, why we get sick, Western medicine, how it doesn't approach that kind of illnesses, and the limits of it. So there's a lot of interesting and deep points, and be prepared if you're gonna go for this book. It was a very good book. It was recommended by my husband, and I could relate to it a lot. But this book is something that you need to take a deep breath, be like, I'm ready for a serious talk. Okay, so I'll leave it to you to decide if you're gonna go for it. But I felt that it was a very good book. I enjoyed it a lot. Book number 7. Okay. The Power of TED, The Empowerment Dynamic by David Emerald. Super fun book. Super good book. It's very motivating. It really puts certain things into perspective and makes you think, what is stopping me in life? Who decides my limits? Can you relate sometimes that ourselves are the biggest critics and the biggest number one reasons why sometimes we don't end up doing the things that we would like to do, because we have certain fears. It's like, it's not gonna work out. Maybe I'm not good at it. Who cares? Just try. Just do it and see what happens. You have nothing to lose. And I'll leave it to you to decide. And the last book. Okay, this is super sweet. This is the last 8th book. The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. I have discovered Marie Kondo a long time ago. I watched a TV show maybe 10 years ago-ish. And I love keeping my home tidy. I hate clutter. Owning too many things overwhelms me and it gives me anxiety. And I already, I think I have a really good system of how I keep my home well maintained. But this book, it just adds such ease. It helps you to find more ease at doing it. I am somebody who tends to easily get stressed. I get overwhelmed and I get stressed, and that's been my lifetime struggle and my one of the biggest focuses in my life now to learn and heal, because that's my trauma. Stress and anxiety, that's my pain, that's my something that I have to heal. And this book makes help me to look at everything that I do with a lot more ease. That doesn't mean that I'm cured and I never get stressed. That's not about that. But there's certain approach that Marie Kondo talks about in how you deal with letting go things, with not overburdening yourself with too many things, and how easy she makes it sound, the process of decluttering and tidying up. So even if you are a tidy person and you have best methods and ways, just give it a shot and listen to it. And I think regardless whether you need help at tidying up your home or decluttering or learning how to manage everything, or you appreciate that so much and you would like to just hear another person's take on it, give it a shot. It feels just like a warm blanket over you. She has a very serene approach to it all. I don't believe in the exact recipe of the order of how you should read those books. Maybe some books you feel like you're not interested, you don't have to read them all. You can pick and choose. All of them are great in different ways and different reasons. And also to let you know that I don't have a lot of time to sit down and actually read a paper book nowadays. I'm always doing something, either the chores or cooking or preparing something, tidying up. I discovered audiobooks, whatever source you choose, that's up to you. Audiobooks have become the favorite thing for me. While I'm cleaning the toilet and the washroom, I will play the book and I will listen to a couple of hours while folding laundry or while cooking or while doing a little stretch. So you can multitask and you can squeeze in a lot more. I couldn't have read these books if I had to sit down and just read a book. So that's something to consider, okay? I do love an old-fashioned way of reading a book, sitting down, looking at the letters, feeling the paper, smelling the book, but it's not always realistic. And sometimes we have to pick and choose what we can handle. So for me, audiobooks have been the it thing recently. It's just so blissful and motivating to listen to it. All right, so here are all the books. Easy peasy. So all the mommies, homemakers, and any women or men or people out there, whoever feels like maybe need a little spark in your life, look at this list, pick one. It doesn't have to be in order. See what feels right to you. just go with what you feel called to, and enjoy. And I hope that helps, because I have loved every single one of these books, and they have served me so well. All right, love and peace. If you like this video, please like and comment and subscribe. That would mean the world to me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so I'm a creator of this hub. My idea is to create a space where there are a lot of information and a lot of little things that mommies and parents and whoever else is can relate to these kind of ideas of different type of living, and can find a little piece of themselves and get encouraged, maybe motivated, maybe learn a little bit of something. And I want to create this hub where it's not just one thing, and you don't have to reach out to a lot of different channels and different places to find different things, because everybody is so crazy about sticking with the niche. My niche is homemaking, and homemaking does not have just one thing. It has many little things combined into a big bubble and a hub of homemaking. I hope I'm making sense, and I want to share that in case you wonder why there's so many different topics in my channel. This channel has everything that involves homemaking and being a mom and prioritizing family, and everything that I do, everything I'm interested in. Of course, I only share what I can share with you. So I hope you can tune into those things, and please like and subscribe to support, and you please also comment if you want to see other things. So book number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.